Hello, everyone. Richard Carlton here. Welcome to another awesome day. Christian, are you there? Nick, are you there? You guys around? Floating around?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, let me cover a little bit of the housekeeping up front. We're fmtrain.tv, where we do live daily FileMaker training, both beginning, intermediate, and advanced. And the last couple of days previous to this was more kind of advanced stuff, and today is going to be more kind of intermediate, I guess, a little bit. Nick is here, of course. And so he'll be here helping us with that. And then we are going to start booking out Fridays and reserving Fridays, kind of for open Q&A. So I'm showing my screen here. Hopefully people can see that. The idea, move this out of the way. The idea is that we are, today is an Import Dialog day. For those of you who can see this, hopefully you can see that okay. And so it's Import Dialog day. Then tomorrow is kind of this open Q&A day. And I want to kind of frame the open Q&A day a little bit. So we're going to hold these on Fridays. They're going to be kind of reserved days. And so before I get to the kind of some special things about that, once again, reminder, if you have topics you'd like to see covered, send us an email to support@RC Consulting. If you have questions, comments, things like that, send an email to support@RC Consulting. Basically, support@RC Consulting is our single point of contact. From there, you will be forwarded or dispatched or sent out to other people as appropriate. So tomorrow is going to be a sample Dead Bird Day. And we like to do open Q&A on that because we have people who ask us questions during the week. We want to be able to handle those in an appropriate format. So what I want to do real quick is that if you go to fmtrain.tv, you can see that we are broadcasting live here. We do broadcast live on Twitch, on YouTube, and also for those of you who are watching Discord, if you're not part of Discord, you want to watch Discord, it's neat because it's more real time. It's pretty almost, I measured the other day, it was about a quarter second, half a second latency. So between I saying something, the word is still about halfway out of my mouth and you're starting to hear it. It's pretty quick. On YouTube and Twitch, it's about a 90-second delay. So if we say something and you write a comment, it's for us, we have to rewind our brain and think about what that was 90 seconds ago. So make sure that you try to keep it in context for us. But once again, you're welcome to watch us on any platform. These are all recorded. They get a little bit of editing and sanitation if, you know, goofy stuff, waiting for things to happen. Nick disconnects himself or has to go to the toilet, as he likes to say, or he starts talking about other stuff that's inappropriate. We cut all that out. If I start talking about inappropriate stuff, that gets cut out. And so you see that. So if you want to help support the channel, we really urge you to make sure that you buy one of the bundles. That gives you the training bundle. Someone said, well, why should I pay for training bundles if you have the live stream? Well, the live stream is basically, someone called it a stream of consciousness. It's a dialogue. It's a conversation. It's open Q&A. Some people come to this live stream and it drives them insane because it's not a highly organized conversation. When we shoot our paid training courses, which is what you see right here, that's an organized conversation. There's animations and stuff in it. So for example, today, I have no idea what's going to happen with Nick on live TV. It's live, baby. It's just live, and we don't know. Real quick, so that's the upcoming schedule. If you go to fmtrain.tv, you can see the upcoming schedule here. This is all fed by FileMaker. It's a live FileMaker file. And then we're going to be Monday. We're going to be kind of doing a high altitude overview and a discussion of the new FileMaker server and the options in that. And then later in the week on Wednesday, we're going to do more of a deep dive about the Linux version of the new FileMaker server. Just on a kind of a semi-related topic. So all of you know Nick. Nick is a fantastic guy. When you email support@RC Consulting, you're going to have access to pretty much the entire company. We try to answer for each person a couple questions, but if we get people who, like we have people who get free help, and then they said, well, that was free, so how much more free should I get? And the problem is that we can't provide free tech support for the entire world, because that kind of gets us into this problem where Nick is a homeless person and he makes no money because he's not working on project work. And so I don't think anyone here necessarily, but people are writing like these three-page dissertations about everything in their FileMaker world that's wrong. And Nick is a really nice guy. He really has a hard time saying no to people. And so I need to ask all of you here, along with that, is that, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 2:30, whenever he finally finishes, that's his time when he's doing free stuff. Outside of that, we really need to pay Nick for his time. And so we're going to push back on people who send us 3-page books. It's an email, but we call it a book. It's so damn fat. And for Nick to even read through it and understand it, what's going on, that's probably half a day of work for him to really investigate and dig through your email. And so it's going to be a point where when that happens, we're going to ask that you pay for that time. If you're looking for free tech support, then that's the stuff that we do 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Monday through Thursday will be kind of pre-scheduled topics. On Friday, it's open Q&A. So if you write us a 3-page email and you want us to air it out in public and answer it, we will be happy to do that publicly on Friday. We will ask you for that, make sure that you want it, because some people write all their personal secrets and who they dated and who they slept with, and they put all that in there. Sometimes that happens. I'm not kidding. There's some really, like, sometimes we get emails that are like, so anyway, you may not want us to air that out on live TV. So that being said, I just want to remind everyone that Nick is not a nun. He's here to he enjoys helping everyone, but he, the less fortunate, if you have a less fortunate database in your life and you want Nick to help you, that's 1 to 2 o'clock. If you want to throw a couple bucks at him, then that's where he can help you outside of that time window. So where's the other picture? This is where Nick is.
I'm in on that,
helping.
Richard. Sometimes it's not even the big emails, because the big ones are obviously time-consuming to read. But a number of my coaching customers send me questions, and if I can answer their question real quick, I'll tend to do it. But sometimes a very short question can have a very long answer from me, and so I'll generally tell my clients, I'm like, look, I'm probably better off to get on the phone with you and actually do a session to try to answer this versus send you a long email and then have you come back with 9 more different questions on it. So it's not that I don't want to help someone. It's that I want to help them well. And so I know that Nick probably encounters similar situations.
Can I suggest something? You remember, Rick, we talked about that many times, about how to write an email in the tech industry. When I joined Apple, the first thing they taught me over there the first week is how to articulate and write an email that is not doesn't require 2 days to read, right? Maybe that could be a nice topic. Is a little bit off of FileMaker, but how to compose an email in the tech industry, right? And I think that would be nice. That would be cool. It's a cool topic.
So no, I totally agree. It's like when I'm talking and then all this great wisdom comes out and then no one hears it. So I was like, So I could shut up now, but yeah, you get the idea. So Nick, if you want to kick us off and go into our import, I just want to cover a little hanging stuff because we have people. I mean, listen, if I could get Nick free all the time and have someone else pay for him, that's great. I actually cut a check to Nick every month to cover this time that he does on broadcast, but it's not like all day. It's like him allotted to broadcast prep time, broadcast time, and then he's supposed to go off and do regular project work. Because here's the thing, we need him to work on FileMaker files, because if he doesn't work on FileMaker files, then he ain't gonna know anything. In about 2 years, he'll be like, oh yeah, I remember when we used repeating fields and right? And so he'll be out of date. So he has to build stuff to stay up to date. It's the biggest problem I personally have is building solutions and coding them, and then still run the company and do everything I do and do the video. It's very hard, right? Yeah. So, all right, Nick.
Yeah,
go baby.
And, it's great that you said that, because everything that I'm demonstrating to you guys here every day are the results of trying to solve a problem in the real world. It's not like a theory or something somebody at FileMaker told me and then never used the products, right? It's no, it's the result.
That does happen all the time, but that's not us. That does happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So you have a lot of people outside. I'm watching the competition sometime, right? And they pretty much they don't know what they talk about. They all have the same topic, and they repeat what somebody else said, that somebody else said, that somebody else said. There's nothing new. But they never try it, and so we don't do that here. Everything we say is the result of resolving problems. So in the real world, right? So
right. Let's go into let's do your import, baby. Let's get going here.
So we're going to actually the topic today is using the import dialog in a different way, okay? So that we were doing before. Okay, so I'm not going to explain how the import dialog is working. We did that. We covered that many times. But I'm going to I'm going to explain to you how to use the import script step. Okay, the import and export script step. And the main request from you guys outside was to how to duplicate something, and I said, yeah, to do that I'm using the import and export technique. Okay, so that was I think that was a good way to introduce the import export topic. Okay, so let me share my screen right quick here. Where's my? I have so many windows here, so many screen. I don't even know where. Oh, here. Okay. So okay. So let me move this. And by the way, you remember yesterday I said that my new baby was coming, and he's here. So this is my music room. So it's kind of, I sent that to many of my friends, and they said that kind of impressive, because normally you have those instruments in museum, not in the house in California. So I'm very happy, very proud of it. So what we want to do today is to duplicate a record that has related records. Okay, pretty much I'm taking this invoice kind of a starting point. Can be invoice, quote, whatever you want. Something, you have a main record here and you have related records. Okay, so you have items, related items here, and you have the main record here. So what you want to do, you want to duplicate this. You want to duplicate everything, but you don't just want to duplicate stupidly. Like, go there, record, and you say duplicate the thing, duplicate the record. So you say, okay, I duplicated my invoice. You know, I had the invoice number 0041. Now I have the invoice 0046. But you think you are duplicated it, but if you say not so smart, you change this, okay? And then you go to the previous one, the 0041, you will see that the change you made is also on this 41. So it's not really duplicated. That means you have two main records pointing to the same related records. So that's it. That's what you have. So this is not at all what we want to do, right? So what we want to do, we want to duplicate the records, right? And we want to duplicate the record, the main record, and as well as the related records. So far, people were using the technique of the go to the first record and set field, set field, set field, set field, or go to the next record, set field, set field, set field. Okay. So all the technique of the virtual listing, you know, you get you get a variable with those, and then you create a bunch of record in a new record, you know, you have a loop with a new record like this. Okay, those two techniques sorry, those two techniques were good in the past, but they are not at all lean design compliant, not at all. They're heavy, and they can work for 10 records, 20 records, 50 records. But when you start having, sometimes you have hundreds of records you want to duplicate that way, then it starts to be very, have an impact on the server, and it doesn't work well. And you have to do a bunch of loops with set fields and stuff like that. That doesn't work well on WebDirect, doesn't work well on cloud. It doesn't work well, okay? So we had to come with a new technique. So the technique I'm going to show you right now, you know, it's not something we couldn't do in the past. We could do in the past, but it was kind of complicated because we didn't have a smart import dialog. I don't know if you remember how the import dialog was. The difference between the old one and the new one, the old import dialog and the new one, is that when you were setting the import dialog one way, and you were making changes inside the table, adding fields, deleting fields, renaming fields, etc., you were breaking the order of the import export, right? So that means each time you were making changes in the table, you had to go back to the import script step and make the changes and realign the import sequence, right? So it was kind of a nightmare to do. So I was using it, knowing the impediments, but I wasn't advocating for it. Now we have a new import dialog that is smart, that is not getting off the import, is not breaking anything. If you make change in the tables. So now this technique that I was using for years now is, let's say, it's recommended when it wasn't before. Okay. So let me see. Okay. What do we want to do? Here I have the invoice number 10046, and I want to duplicate this invoice. Okay, so I have a button here that says duplicate. So now I have the 0047 invoice. Okay, and then I have the 46 and the 47. See, now I have two now. Let's say I'm doing changes here. I'm doing this. I'm saying, okay, very smart. Okay, very smart. I'm going to the 46. I don't have the change. So that means those records are duplicated as well. Okay, so what we done here I have the invoice item table. Okay, so here what happened. So let's say I have the table here. See, I have 116 records, right? 116 record. And when I click on duplicate, see the 116 record here. I click duplicate. Now I have 123, right? Because I have those records duplicated. Okay. So how you do this? How you do this one broken? I need to remove it. Okay, was doing testing. So how you do that? How you duplicate? So today we are going to learn many things. Not only the duplication, but we are going to learn export, import, and how to use the variable as a path. And we are going to learn how to use the temporary folder. Very important. So let's start with this. Let's start with the file path, what we call file path. So what is file path? Okay. So let me create a file path for you. What is a file path? Is this. We need to export or import a file in FileMaker. We need to format it. We need a path to format a path to save the record, to save the file. Okay. So here I have FileMac will be FileWin on window. Okay. So you have FileMac, FileWin. You have a differentiation between Mac and Windows. Then I have the path to go to my temporary folder. Then I have the name of the file I want to save. And then I have the extension. It's a CSV, comma separated value. Okay. So how I'm getting this? What is the temporary folder? The temporary folder, if I copy this, so I'm on Mac, okay, oh, you can do the same on Windows. This here, so let me set get temporary folder, temporary path. This is the path to go to the temporary folder. Every single computer has this folder somewhere in the system. So here it's on the deep kind of it's a deep folder into var, which is a Unix kind of a folder, and you see you have multiple. You have this, and this. This here S10.8. This is created by FileMaker, by the way. S10.8 can be S10.7 sometime, S10.6 sometime it changed. Okay, so Macintosh HD. So let's say I'm copying this. Okay, I'm copying this, and I go to. I'll open my computer here. Okay, I'm going here.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can. Nick, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so David's saying on Discord on Windows you would go to the command and typeset. So
yeah, okay, so yeah, for the file win file.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's the point. If the file, I have a custom function that you guys will get with this file, and you have on FM Launchpad and all the file you get. I have a custom function that determine the file prefix for you if it's platform FileMac FileWin. If it's 1, that means Mac. If it's -2, which PC. Otherwise, it's a file. Because the principle is you don't want to hard code this, because if you run on PC, it doesn't work. If you put FileWin, doesn't work. So you need that to be determined by the running machine. That's why I wrote that custom function for you. Okay. So let's continue. I am here and I want to go to that folder. Okay. And I can dig on the var, because the slash var it's a hidden folder in the Mac. In PC or also you have a hidden folder like this. So you go to folder. Okay. You go to folder on the Mac. On the PC, you have the same thing. You go to folder, you paste this, and then you say go. Then you are into the temporary folder. So the temporary folder is wiped out from the surface of the planet each time you quit FileMaker. Okay? Demonstration. I quit FileMaker, so this, see, is there. I quit FileMaker. My note. Okay, it's wiped out, disappeared, right? It's not there anymore. So now I reopen FileMaker. Okay. Reopen FileMaker. I reopen the file. Where is it? In recent import technique. Okay. And see the S is not there yet. Okay, the S10.8 is not there yet. If I go there and I say I want to see it's coming, because here I have a get temporary file. So I've asked going to the data viewer. I had this that was asking for the path, and then he created it. It's there. So now we know where the folder is. It is very important to have access to the folder. It's very important to have access to the folder, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay. So now we have this. So now we know that the script here is going to import and export using that path, because FileMaker requires this FileMac for the Mac FileWin with the driver letter, FileWin with the computer name, or a variable, or just file dot. Okay, but when you have file dot, it's not resolving issues that it should do on when you do the platform here. File is more for iOS, by the way. FileMac FileWin is important, otherwise it won't work well. Okay, you will have problem with the characters. You have characters problems. You have format problems. You don't want to miss it. That's why I wrote this little file prefix custom function.
Okay, so Top Cat has a question. It says, Nick, is it possible that a company might block temp path for you?
No, it's not possible. It's
even if you've got some jerk Windows.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Administrator, right?
Yeah, but that means the system is broken. That means the computer will hang because the system is constantly accessing this. Look, today, modify, today. This code crashes, okay? This code, yesterday, today is modified. Modify yesterday, com.apple.email.
Okay, they could try to block it, but it would, all the apps are using the temp directory.
It's going to crash. It's going to crash. Actually it's not even, you can force this, but the guy would do that. Okay, the computer's dead. Doesn't work. I don't even on PC. I'm not even sure it will boot. Not even sure.
All right,
No,
cool.
really, I'm not kidding.
That's a good question. It's a good question. So
Yeah,
Top Cat,
it's a good question. Yeah, no. I mean, it's a good question, but more likely not. Okay, it's So and because the advantage of this folder, why I'm using the temporary path is because it's wiped out when you quit FileMaker. If you use your own folder somewhere, it's not going to be wiped out, and you might have a security issue. Okay, because you export things, you import things, and then you don't clean up behind you. It's like somebody can do if you put your social security information in your trash can, somebody at the trash kind of facility can read your social security, right? So you need to clean up behind you, and the temporary path is doing that for you automatically, and I just demonstrate that to you. Okay. And by the way, even if FileMaker crashes, it's wiping out the temporary folder. Okay. So now I have this. So now I can use that path as an export. I can export specifying the file path. It's a variable. I can put variable here, and I'm using comma separated value. Okay. So let's stop it. Let's stop here for a moment. Okay. Everything that I'm demonstrating right now, it is PSoSable. That means you can perform that on server. That means you can perform the technique of export import into your server. That means you don't even have anything on your local temporary folder. That means the export and the import happens on a local machine on your server. Many of you have heard that the import and export is not compatible with server, okay? But it is. It is, but at some restrictions. When you export data on server, you cannot use none of those. You can use tab separated, you can use comma, and that's it. You cannot use FileMaker, you cannot use XML, you cannot use Excel, you cannot use HTML, merge, DBF, whatever. You can use this one and this one. That's it. That's why some of you have tried to export on servers. Oh, it doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work because you try, Excel. Because everybody, I want Excel. No, it doesn't work with Excel. It works with comma separated value. And then you try to export somewhere else on the server. Server allows you to export on temporary folder only. So you cannot export somewhere else on server. That's it. That's simple. Okay. So when you use that technique as is, you use this script as is, you copy and paste in your solution, you can run this script on server. Okay. So I'm not going to do the demonstration of how it works on server because I'm doing it right now. It's the same. So I'm using, since I have a restriction on server, I'm using for my everyday life the same restriction for everywhere. Then I don't have a problem. Okay. I'm not exporting in Excel. I don't need to export in Excel because I'm not going even to open that file. And I'm going to explain to you right now. So we use the same path for export and import. Some of you in the past, I know, had difficulties with path because they didn't know how to formulate the path correctly. So now we have this function here that's very cool. So something I forgot to mention about the path is I'm using the get UUID as the name of the file. Why? I'm showing you why. Because as I said, I don't care about the file. I'm not going to open the file. I'm not going to see the file. I just need to drop somewhere something. Okay. Each time you evaluate the get UUID, look this here. Okay. Look this number here. Each time you reevaluate this, it changes. Because I'm generating a get UUID, a unique ID. So every time I'm exporting a file, I'm sure to have a different name. Then I don't have any problems to make sure that maybe, I name my file the same way of another one, and then I'm replacing it. Pure and simple, right?
Yeah, so this makes sense. Everyone understands the UUID because it's going to be a random. It'll never duplicate, and we don't care about it. Now, question right on this topic before we wander off. So RV Bellinger basically asked a question. I think it's a Mac question. At least it seems like it is to me. He says, do you have to show hidden folders to see the temporary folder? I am not seeing it when I go to the folder.
Right? Yeah, you need to show how. So you need to use an Onyx utility to activate the hidden folders.
Hey, Christian, what did he just say?
Sorry?
Onyx utility? I mean, there's a couple ways to show hidden folders.
Onyx utility. I'm using that all the time. I don't know if I have the latest one in my computer here.
Did he actually say ONIX? Is that what he said?
Yeah, I'm going to show you.
That's what I heard.
Oh, Unix utility. That is awesome. It's doing all the so I need a new one. So
Onyx. Okay. Yeah, there's other ways that's doing that. Several ways. Just look it up. RV Bellinger.
Okay, so you need to understand so what is important is the guy who created that file was a guy working with Avi Tevanian.
Oh, Apple guy.
The guy who invented macOS.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Avi Tevanian. He's the guy who created Darwin, which is the Darwin is the Unix foundation of macOS.
Right.
So the guy left in Apple, and he wrote this this piece of software here. I mean, he helped doing it, right? The Onyx. So so Onyx is great. I can download the latest one and see, how.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's just people. I wasn't sure. I thought you said Onyx, but I thought you were trying to really slaughtering the word Unix, and I was like, wow.
No, Onyx. It's actually that's what they call Onyx. Unix, Onyx. Now you got it.
Okay, got it.
All
right, cool. All right.
Yeah,
it's a Mac thing, so it's a little utility allows you to do things without doing a bunch of probably removes the need for command line stuff or something. So
yeah, I'm going to show you that at the end of the if
I'll save it for tomorrow if we have time for Dead Bird.
Oh yeah, we have time for that. Okay, so yes, but I have a great technique for that, and I'm going to show you again. So I'm generating I'm generating the temporary path. I copied this. Okay, then I open a new window on the Finder. Okay, and I make sure that I open the window as on the first root. That means when you're here, you click here with a command, and you go there at the beginning here. Then you go to folder, and then you paste what you copied from the temporary folder, and you say go, and now you are inside. See, you are inside. You can see it. So those are, so this go actually this go stuff is kind of cool, because look what you can do. You can go to go, and you say /Mac or Mac, and you tab. See, you tab. This is the unique stuff. So you tap Mac tab, okay, var tab, and then you go to the temporary. You see what I mean? You can. So now I am in var. So now I am into. You see, I am there. I am inside a folder that is hidden without to have to de-hide it. Okay. So yeah, it's a manipulation of the system, and it's okay. You don't have to know that, but it's So you need to know how to go to the temporary folder. My technique here with copy paste is a very straightforward. You copy paste, boom, and you are inside. So now we are going to check what exactly happened here. So I have this invoice and I have related records. So let's debug it. First of all, I need to set a variable with the next UUID. What is this? The relationship I use between invoice and invoice items, it's a UUID. It's an ID. It's something that is generated each time you create a new record. You have the UUID number. Okay, I'm using that as a main, as a key, a parent key, foreign key. Okay, that's what I'm using. It's a UUID number that is generated each time you create a new invoice. Okay, so what I need to do is to generate one brand new. I need to generate one in a variable. So I have a variable with what I call the next UUID. This is the UUID is created, is unique, is created, and cannot be created again, never, ever. Okay? So it's in memory. It's in my variable. Then I'm generating the path. So I'm going to check my path. Now I have the file path. File Mac, Macintosh HD, blah, 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 .csv. Bon. That's so cool. So far, so good. Now, what I want, I'm going to related record. So I'm displaying the records that are related to that record, to that invoice that I'm here. Okay. I'm displaying the records of the invoice I want to duplicate. I am still in the original one. Okay, nothing duplicated yet. I'm just showing those records in a new window, in the context of the table. I am in the table invoice item. Okay. Now I have those records. I am exporting those in my temporary folder. So immediately I have a file created in my temporary folder, and inside the file you see the brand name of the cars: Dacia, Nissan, Mini CVCV, because I'm on Isuzu, Very Smart, Volkswagen, and Smart. Okay, so you see exactly, and the quantity 5348, and you have the price, the unique price, 17, 20, 200, 96, 56, 55. So you have all what matters, because this is the calculation. And so calculation, you don't care, because when you export only the data you want to export. That's the only data I want to export. So now I have exported those data. So now what I'm doing, just after I export those data, I'm re-importing them. So I just created 7 brand new records, which are the same of the one I exported, because I just exported them. Okay. Now, remember, this is my foreign key. My foreign key needs to be different, because if I put the same foreign key as the original one, I'm not duplicating anything. I now replace the content of the IDF invoice with my next UUID. The one I just created is brand new. I'm using that UUID and I replace them with this. Okay? Then I'm done. That means those records are completely duplicated, and I have a brand new ID foreign key, ID foreign invoice, brand new. Okay. Now I'm closing that window. No need. Now I'm taking care of this, the record that originated the duplication. So now I need to duplicate that. So I'm duplicating it. I have a new one. Okay. Now I have 16 records. Yeah, I just duplicated it. Right? And I replace, see here, this is the same as the one before. This is the one I started with. it has 1879. If I go to the next one, it still have 1879 because I duplicated the record. So it has the same ID. And then, so now what I'm doing here with this one, I'm setting the field of my parent ID with the same ID that I use as a foreign for the duplicated records. So now I click here, see it changes this, I commit, and I'm done. And now I have two different duplicated invoices with the related record duplicated as well, right? So this is how you use this. This is how you use the import export to duplicate things. But you can use the same technique to move data from one record, from one table to another. I'm going to show you that, okay? So do we have any question here?
There's quite a few conversations going on. There's conversations about the temporary file, you know, on client, the temporary file for FileMaker gets, when you quit FileMaker, I guess, right? That's when it clears the temp directory. On FileMaker server, you know, which you don't really restart that often, if ever. I'm not sure when it resets or clears the temp directory.
I think that they call that Jacob could what's the name, tell you that better when the temporary folder on server is going to be reset. I have no clue on this. Knowing that you know, when you do that
I mean, it's not a big deal. It's just you assume it's there while you're working, and if you wander off for an hour or two or whatever, you might want to assume it's not there anymore. Can you look at the questions on Discord? It's quite the froth going here. Mookie's asking about must be unique and duplicate. I'd rather you just probably answer those.
Export works with SASE, yes. Export works and everything that if you export in CSV in a temporary folder, it works on server. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Or documents. It works on documents too. So yeah, you can't on when you're in FileMaker. This came up a second ago, and I guess people didn't answer. But when you're on a Mac or Windows Pro,
I don't. You can read
or write to any directory. When you're on a client, Nick, you can basically read or write to any directory. When you're on server, because of the sandboxing, because I presented on this topic at DEF CON, because of sandboxing, Claris, it's not even Claris, it's Apple, I'm assuming Windows to a degree, restricts where you can write, what directories you can write to. So basically, you should assume on server that it's documents or temp are the two only ones you can have. You don't have access to desktop, you don't have access to other directories. It's those two that's it. So,
but that's a discussion here on Discord about the when you duplicate and you have this on, you know, the unique this, and you say unique. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to throw a dialogue and it.
So you do this, still work because I don't care. See?
Did you suppress it? Did you do error capture? Is that why you're not seeing it?
Yeah, error capture. You don't give a damn about this. Why? Because I'm not going to keep the duplicated ID. I'm replacing it at the end. I'm putting my own that I generate before to reconciliate the foreign key with the parent key. It needs to be the same. So since I'm going to do that at two different timelines in the same events, okay, I'm generating my next UUID in the memory, is there, and I'm using for the foreign and the parent. So I don't care if you duplicate, triplicate, quadruplicate, fifthplicate, I don't care. So you can.
They're still spinning on this. Can you look at Discord there? Moki's having a aren't you suppressing the dialogue if you duplicate it manually?
No, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's unique or not, because we are drowning in a glass of wine here. So it's
drowning in a glass of wine, Mookie. There you go.
Yeah. So when you do this, you export, you replace, you close, and you duplicate here. You don't even have an error, even though I said I want the the UUID to be unique, right? I don't even have an error here. I have an error here. See, when I want to commit, but I don't. Okay, so yeah, I need to explain how FileMaker works. By the way, okay, so so far here, the commit happens until I'm committed. I can do whatever I want. I can triplicate, quadruplicate, I can do whatever I want until I commit the record. The record is not okay. Let's say I'm doing this. See, I'm reversing this. I have the problem. Still, I don't have it because I set off the dialog. So no, I don't know why. It doesn't matter. Okay. I never had a problem here with this. And by the way, since all of this, I know Apple is doing, FileMaker is doing strict, not empty existing. They click everything, and everything is restricted. And when you create a new table, they have this is a nonsense. When you create a new table, and they put this, and they put can modify, requires, and not empty. Why? That's my question. Why you do that? This is nonsense completely. I'm creating this. That's one thing I'm saying. I don't care about this. I don't care not empty. I don't care. It's automatic. I'm never go there. We never go there. You never show this ID. You never manipulate this. Just what I don't want is do not replace existing value, if any. That's it. That's all what I checked. That's it. Those validation stuff, I don't even use that anymore. I never go there. I can build giant, big, fat solution. I never go there. I build my own. Those are things like I say, to block the numeric, for numeric only, for example, that's a joke. Let's say you set date and you want numeric only, okay? Or let's say you have a number. That's a joke. You have a number, okay, and you said numeric only. This is a big fat joke, okay? So you have this, and you put a number here, okay? Oh, I have a better way. Let's put quantity because quantity you cannot put a number in quantity, right? So you use this numeric only, okay? So what you do, you can do this, you can do this, and then at the end, bam, you have an arrow. Revert, no, yes, perhaps. Let me call my friend. Let me call my mom. Okay, we never know what happens here. It's a big nightmare. So instead of doing this piece of what I'm using my own technique here. Okay, so which one I'm going to open here? Hold on, it's here. FM Launchpad. You have it on FM Launchpad, right? So okay. So I'm copying my script. So I have a script here. Hold on, it's coming. Copy non-numerical characters. Okay. So now I'm putting my scripts. So you guys will have the script here. See, it's a script I copy from another solution and is working right away. Okay. So I'm activating this on keystroke. I said this. Okay. So now I have a true numeric only. Letters, and I'm proving that I'm striking the keyboard here. See, so I have my keyboard here. You see, I'm striking the keyboard. See, nothing happened. Numbers, no problems. See, but that is a real numeric only, not the joke from FileMaker. You know what I mean? So you need to get away from those things, because especially the validation stuff. Here we don't need that on the invoice anyway. So yeah. we went far from the thing.
That's why they made script triggers, baby. So
yeah, exactly. Because there's something you need to know. You have the out-of-the-box things from Apple, from FileMaker, right? Like the bar here, the bar, the new record, delete record, find, navigation stuff here, and that's out of the box. And then you have your own stuff, and you have buttons, and you can say new record, okay? So you know what I mean, right? So it's not because it's out of the box that you cannot create new record. See, you can build your own, and you can have a script, and so that is the, what's the name? It's the proper of FileMaker. That means you have the out of the box, and then you can use your own stuff to do your stuff. But for the ID, you don't need all of this. No. Anyway, this duplication system here that I demonstrated to you. There's something I want to show you before we go. Okay. Remember, we had this discussion many times about when you need to go to another window. That means, see, you open, you go to another window. You have a new window. So you go to, and then you do something in another context in the new window. Most of you guys, what you do, you try to hide the window when you don't hide it. You don't show it, but you don't hide it. You know what I mean? So we had this discussion before. We have many times that I was talking about that. Now we have a better way to do that. Instead of trying to hide the window or minus 5,000 or whatever, instead of doing this, I explained to you that now with the Carl style window, we can do something better. So let's say I want to duplicate this. Okay, so let me remove this piece of here. Okay, so now I want to duplicate this, and I want you to see if are you seeing something when I click it?
Yeah, I changed it. The color's reversing on it, right?
Yeah, but no, but do you see a flashing stuff? Or do you see a new window coming? Do you see a no?
The numbers change there, right? Your duplicate.
That's it. But you don't see any. Yeah, but do you see something flashing?
No,
okay.
I don't.
So now, do you see something flashing? So the script here, I explained to you, instead of trying to hide something, okay, don't try, show it. Use a card style window in the new window. So the new window is going to a layout, okay, that is named duplicate cards. It's a card. It's just this. This is what my layout is, duplicating invoice. And the table of this is the table. The occurrence of this layout is the occurrence I need to be when I'm doing my export import. So to you, FileMaker is based in order to get FileMaker to work, to be faster and to prevent unnecessary redraw, because everything that FileMaker has to draw is slow. It's not because of FileMaker, it's because of the system, it's because of everything slow. Drawing a window, for example, is a huge event for FileMaker. Okay, so that's why when FileMaker, it counts like 3 seconds, 4 seconds. If the event doesn't like, if you ask to draw the window, okay, you ask it, and the event you ask to draw the window lasts less than an X amount of time, I don't remember which one it is, it doesn't even try to show it. It doesn't even try to show the window. Now, this statement is valid for the card style window, okay? Because the card style window is a special kind of window. It is not a real window, because it is not redrawing like this. It doesn't do a new window, a new context like this. It doesn't do that. A card style window happens inside a window that is already open and drawn. Okay, so when you duplicate something, okay, let me close this. When you duplicate something here, okay, you don't, FileMaker doesn't try to display. Now, if the duplication, if I have let's say if I have 1,000 of records, it will have to show the dialog that I created, the window, like that. That's what I put here. You put a pause, for example, okay, for 5 seconds. So if the event of exporting the script, okay, lasts too long, then it will draw it. Okay, so why you and why you want to, let's say it takes 20 seconds to export, for example, because you have 2 million records. It's nice to have this in your, okay, duplicate in invoice, please wait, be patient, I'm working for you. So and then it disappears. It's better than having a new window that you try to hide somewhere, okay, and you know what I mean? So it's better, it's much better. So, and here, I want to, if you debug this stuff here, you see, so if I use a debugger and I click here and I debug this script here. So when I go to the related records, I open this window, you see it. I am in the context I need to be to export. I am in the context I need to be to import. I'm in the context I need to be to replace. Then I don't care about this context anymore, I close. I duplicate my record, I set the new UUID, I commit, and bye-bye. So that techniques avoid maybe 100 of set fields with, and so that is great.
The general question that comes up about...
That's a question, interesting question. Agent Chevy.
Okay.
Says everything was fine while on the layout it doesn't show the processing in progress, rather I get this tiny. Yeah, you know why? Because you need to do this. You need to pause a pause. I did that, a pause for a fraction of a second, a tenth of a second, for example. So then that will force FileMaker. I told you, FileMaker is lazy. FileMaker needs time to draw things, okay? Because they don't, okay. When you go somewhere like a CalStar window and you want to display something that is calculated, okay? Let's say, you have a variable, for example, or a merge field. I'm pretty sure you have this. So it's the technique here is to don't try the refresh window. You don't need this. The refresh window actually is, you're not even sure it will work, because FileMaker cannot refresh something that it didn't draw. So I'm not sure that in that case on the CalStar window that you open and you open and then right away you have a big giant fat event like this, okay? I'm not sure refresh window is going to work. What works is the pause script. So that means you show the window, you pause for a tenth of a second, you hop like this, and then you export. Then FileMaker will be forced to draw the thing. Okay, so that's the good technique to do that. When you show something and doesn't show, you have just a pause for a fraction of a second. That's it. Doesn't need to be 1 second. No, just the dot 1 second. That means a tenth of a second. Yeah, it's discuss what you need to. Okay, just to close the chapter on this. When you want to duplicate something, you need to know from where am I starting. Am I starting from? Do I duplicate right now this one and then I export blah blah, or do I try to export those first? To duplicate those first and then duplicate and reconciliate, right? So here, those two tables are linked with the invoice ID. Okay, this is very simple. Parent key, foreign key. Okay, so they need to be the same. When you duplicate something, you have no idea of what the number will be before it happens. Correct? So you make the event to happen of creating the UUID number. You make that happen, and you store it. Say, okay, that number is mine. It's like, you know what? You go to DMV and you have the number 129, okay, and you wait in line. This number is yours, and nobody's going to take it, or you are going to bite the people, okay? So imagine that you are in the DMV and you took your ticket, and you have your ticket in hand with the number 129. This is what you do. You took the ticket. You are in the row, okay, in the line. You do all your stuff, and happen the time when you need to show the ticket, your ticket in the to the booth person, okay? So this is where it happened. You say, okay, hey, I have the 127. Okay, so you put everything with the 127. You put all the records you just created with the number 127, because this is the one you took when you enter the DMV, right? Then you say, okay, you know what? Another person at the exit ask you the same number. Okay, what was your number? Oh, 127. Okay, you're the guy with the 127. No problem. So I'm reconciliated. So it's exactly the same thing. You take the ticket before it happens, and then you reuse that to reconciliate the parent ID and the foreign ID. That's it. When those two matches, your link is done.
Last question. RV Bellinger says, should you disable the default duplicate records menu item? It depends how. I mean, your question is, we're talking about customizing the menus at the top. Should you disable the duplicate? I don't know. What's your workflow? If one of your users executes the duplicate function, does it destroy the integrity of the file? Does it do unexpected things? Do people know what that means, right? If they don't know, if you have a staff of people who are using the file and they really don't know anything about FileMaker, and they're pretty clueless, and they don't have much of a brain, then yeah, maybe that's too much for them to handle. You might want to really limit it. It depends on the technical depth of your crew. So anyway, cool. All right, well, that's it, Christian. I think we're good. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Let's cue the closer.
Yeah.
Guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected. The quarterback, great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Trying to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap, stands in, throws it left for Amendola, reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10, rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.